Aokigahara, a dense forest located at the base of Mount Fuji in Japan, is a place of both natural beauty and terrifying mystery. On the surface, it seems like a peaceful paradise, with its lush green trees and tranquil atmosphere. But beneath this serene exterior lies one of Japan's most haunted and cursed locations. In Japanese culture, forests are often considered sacred, places where spirits, gods, and other powerful entities reside. However, Aokigahara's dark legacy is far from the traditional spiritual respect associated with nature. Instead, it is known worldwide as the suicide forest. Every year, hundreds of people are drawn to this eerie place to end their lives. The forest's silence and isolation seem to lure those who are mentally and emotionally struggling, offering them an escape. But Aokigahara holds a much darker secret. Those who die there, their souls are said to be trapped in the forest, unable to find peace. The forest's grim history dates back to ancient times, specifically during the Edo period in Japan. In that era, impoverished villagers often made their way into the forest's depths, and legends tell of them choosing death as a way to escape their misery. According to folklore, if someone died in the forest without proper rituals to guide their soul, they would become restless spirits, their souls forever wandering the woods in search of peace. Over the years, Aokigahara began to develop a reputation as a place where people came to end their lives. The first documented suicide in the forest occurred in the 1950s, and by the 1970s, the suicide rate in the forest had significantly increased. The phenomenon became a point of concern for the Japanese government, but despite attempts to discourage people from going there, Aokigahara's reputation as the place to die only grew stronger. As the suicides continued, so did the forest's notoriety. It became known not only for the countless deaths, but for its dark, foreboding atmosphere. Many began to say that something about the forest itself seemed to invite death, an evil presence that drew people to it. With the rise in suicides came growing reports of strange occurrences within the forest. The local population and visitors began sharing chilling tales of hearing voices, seeing shadowy figures, or even feeling an oppressive sense of dread. Some claimed to feel an invisible force guiding them deeper into the forest, while others said they had been followed by figures they couldn't explain. Many of those who ventured into Aokigahara reported becoming disoriented or lost, even though they had set out with a clear path in mind. The trees in the forest grow so densely that sunlight rarely touches the ground, adding to the disorienting feeling of the place. Visitors reported a strange calmness as they walked, only to suddenly feel a shift in the air, a foreboding sense that they were not alone. These reports of encounters with spirits and shadows were not just stories. They were terrifying realities for many who visited. Some hikers went in with friends, only to return alone. Some never returned at all. The forest became known for not just being a place where people came to die, but also a place where the restless spirits of those who had taken their lives were thought to remain. As word spread of the strange happenings in Aokigahara, paranormal investigators began flocking to the forest. They hoped to uncover the truth behind the mysterious events that seemed to surround it. They brought cameras and equipment to capture evidence of the supernatural, and in many cases, they reported finding eerie footage, unexplained sounds, shadowy figures moving in the distance, and unsettling voices that echoed through the trees. One of the most unsettling discoveries was the consistent temperature drops recorded by investigators. No matter what time of year it was, certain parts of the forest seemed to radiate an unnatural chill. Researchers claimed that these temperature fluctuations were linked to paranormal phenomena, suggesting that the spirits of the dead were still present. Several hikers who ventured into the forest alone or with companions also claimed to have experienced extreme emotional shifts, suddenly feeling overcome with despair and the overwhelming urge to end their lives. Many of them reported hearing whispers or seeing ghostly figures that seemed to guide them further into the forest, making it harder for them to find their way back out. Despite the warnings, Aokigahara still draws tourists and thrill seekers, many of whom want to experience the haunting atmosphere for themselves. Some come hoping to see ghosts or feel the eerie energy that surrounds the forest. Others come out of curiosity or as part of a macabre pilgrimage to witness the tragic history of the area. For many visitors, the experience is more than they bargained for. Stories of individuals feeling an oppressive weight on their shoulders as they walk through the forest, or hearing phantom footsteps behind them, are common. Some have seen strange figures moving just out of sight, while others report hearing voices, sometimes cries for help, other times unintelligible whispers. The forest has been described as having a magnetic pull, one that draws people in but does not let them leave. Several individuals who have wandered into Aokigahara have returned with tales of psychological torment, feeling as though their minds had been manipulated by an unseen force. Aokigahara continues to hold its dark reputation, despite efforts by the Japanese government to curb the suicide rate. In recent years, officials have placed signs throughout the forest, encouraging people to reconsider their decision and offering help. There are also more patrols in the area, trying to prevent people from taking their lives. But despite these efforts, Aokigahara remains a place where people continue to flock to end their lives. There are some who believe the forest is cursed, that it is a place where the dead can never find peace. The restless souls of those who have taken their lives there are said to haunt the trees, waiting for the living to come and join them. The intense sorrow and suffering in Aokigahara have created a dark energy that envelops the forest, one that seems to prey on those who visit it. Aokigahara Forest, with its deadly reputation and haunting atmosphere, remains a terrifying symbol of despair. It has become a place of both fascination and fear, a place where the lines between the living and the dead are blurred. Those who venture into its depths may come seeking peace or solace, but instead they are often met with the darkness that has claimed so many before them. The forest's legacy is one of tragedy and horror. It serves as a chilling reminder of the consequences of untreated mental health issues, and the way that despair can lead individuals to seek an end to their suffering. Aokigahara is a place where the past never truly leaves, where the souls of the lost wander, forever bound to the trees and the shadows. And so, the suicide forest remains, a place where the final chapters of too many lives have been written, and where the eerie presence of those who remain can still be felt by anyone daring enough to enter its dark and haunted expanse.